Hello, Internet, and welcome once again to the Free-to-Play Cast, brought to you by MMOBomb.com, your home for all things free-to-play related. I'm your host, Mike Byrne, and this is episode 380, closing in on that 400 number very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. Wow. Yeah. We have to do something special. We got a couple of months to figure it out, but we've got a lot of stuff to talk about today, including some free AAA assassin-y stuff, kind of free to play. Some games coming and launching new things, and some games leaving us, and then, holy crap, that is a lot of moolah. Joining me to talk about all of it, Mr. Jason Winter. How are you, sir?
Number 400, the Naked Cast.
I will be turning in my resignation at 398.
Not even taking a chance.
Not even taking a chance that I misnumber the next show notes.
Not for me. Everyone in chat has to be naked.
Well, I mean, that's fine, I guess. They could just sit at home nude. They don't have cameras on them. Yeah, there you go. If you're not part of live chat right now, we do the show live every Friday. Twitch.tv/MMOBomb, 1 p.m. Eastern, and then we go to our free-to-play stream after that. So come and join us if you're watching this on YouTube or MMOBomb.com. You're always welcome.
Yeah, but if you're watching on YouTube, you have to be naked too.
Yes. Yeah. So this not right now. Like, don't pause it and strip down.
Yeah, not now.
No. That's episode 400. We'll get there. Mm-hmm. Also on the line, Wilfredo Rivera. You all right, Sarah?
How do you know that they're not naked now?
Well, you don't. I mean, that's like the mystery of doing a podcast, right?
Yeah, but I'm pretty certain nobody wants to know at the moment, because let's be civil here.
Chat, okay? Let us know if you're naked right now. Like,
come on, man.
Do you watch the free-to-play cast naked? Because, I mean, like, don't post pics. I'm not interested. Just a simple yes or no will suffice here.
I know I've told this story before, but...
Oh, no, wait a minute. I don't even want to know what story this conversation prompted.
In the early days of the free-to-play cast, when it was me and Spunkify, and we didn't have cameras.
Oh, hell
and it was hot in the summer in Texas.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Vastille in chat saying, never worn clothes in my life.
Oh.
That is a good life. That is a good life. PJs are more comfy. David Tennant does his podcast naked. Every day is your birthday with the right suit. I had to give you the sad trombone there. It's good. It's good, but I had to give you the sad trombone. Oh, God, we're never going to get out of here today unless we get started.
Speaking of guys with suits, let's move on to the news.
Yeah, speaking of birthday suits, here's the news. Oh, my. That might be close to the record of how fast can we get this to go off the rails. It's pretty damn close, that's for sure.
Oh, now I'll do it quicker. Now I'll figure it out.
It's like, what am I going to do for 400?
Ding, achievement unlocked.
Exactly. All right, so in the free-to-play world, not a game we often get to talk about here, but I have streamed it over on Ready Check Radio when it came out for the PlayStation 5 on release day. I'm talking about Hitman 3, one of my favorite series of all times. I know, Jason, it's not exactly one of your favorite cups of teas as far as the gameplay and type of stuff go, but it is now free to play. Well, kinda.
Yeah, and this is something that I've often been interested in, but I've just never gotten into, because I like the stealth assassination kind of stuff.
You just never wanted to spend 50 bones on it.
Yeah, basically that was it. And then the older games were like, hey, it's only $20. Yeah, but it's like 8 years old. So, yeah. But anyway, what they've done is they made parts of Hitman 3 free to play. And the reason we say parts is because you have access to various levels on a rotating basis is how they're going to do it. Now, they'll always have the ICA facility training level. That's always available.
Right, which is a staple. It's a staple of the series.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then it's going to rotate other levels through as well as elusive target missions. Through April 5th is going to be the Dubai level that's available. So You can get this on on consoles, which excluded, as well as PC.
Wilfredo, you can get this on everything, including the Stadia, except the Switch. No dice if you're a Switch fan.
I mean, hey, Switch, it's a great console if you're not asking for anything that's high-powered.
I guess we should also note that on the Stadia aspect of things, if you want the 4K version access, that you have to have the Stadia Pro membership for, the subscription. But for non-4K, you're fine. You don't even have to have the Stadia Pro subscription to get this too. It's also going to cycle through Hitman 1 and 2 content. That's not all that surprising if you know about how Hitman 3 works, in that you can take progress and data from the previous titles, and levels from the previous titles have been remastered a little bit. And there's, you have access to that stuff in Hitman 3. If you've owned Hitman 1 and 2, you automatically get those upgraded levels. All kinds of interconnectivity with the previous titles, which I'm a huge fan of in any game, by the way, not just this series, which I do love. It is near and dear to my heart. I love Agent 47. I even love the movies, even though they're terrible. They're terrible. They're absolutely.
He's not a top 10 assassin, though.
Yeah, so good call. Game Informer. I don't know if you guys still know this, but Game Informer does their magazine still. This is for those younger, right? This is a print magazine. Think of it as the internet articles on paper. That's what this is. And
you put YouTube comments on it, though.
Can you click on the links?
It just I'll give you a link.
Try tapping the magazine and see if it'll open up a new page.
I don't get it. Isn't this a tablet? Just so happens that this month they did a top 10 article on assassins. Now, they always do a top 10, and so this was video game assassins. Stunningly, our hero, Agent 47 gang, not on the list. Not on the list. Now, some of these are no-brainers. You're absolutely, they need to be on a top 10 list of assassins. But then other ones, you're what? How did they make it and Agent 47 didn't? Now, I'm going to give you two a chance to just guess one assassin on this list, knowing that Agent 47 isn't on here. Wilfredo, you go first. Give me a video game assassin that you think is iconic enough to make the top 10 assassins. And Old Glory, no, there is no cheeky Mario on here. Oh my God, magazines with demo discs. Hell yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell yes, Bastille.
I still have one somewhere.
I still have a few.
I still,
the disc,
if I hit Barnes & Noble to pick something up, I still grab 2 or 3 print, PlayStation magazine and stuff like that.
Right.
Now it's usually posters and shit, no demo discs. Mm-hmm. So, okay, who you got here? Yeah, you get one guess, Wilfredo.
If he's not on here, I'm going to be mad. Ricky Maru.
Ricky Maru, absolutely on the list from Tenchu. Number 6 comes in at number 6. Ricky Maru was a ninja of impressive physical ability, but his passionate personality prevented him from achieving his full potential. Once he mastered the arts of pushing his emotions back, he became unstoppable. It's probably not a great way to lead your actual life, but it's tough to beat the satisfaction of dispatching groups of enemies before they even knew he was there. Tenchu, such a great series. Such a great series. So you got it. Yay, Wilfredo, cheers.
That was going to be my pick. I thought nobody would know what Tenchu was.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Tenchu's amazing. It's
great, but it's not something that's ever talked about for the last 10 years.
Yeah, so I'm honestly amazed, though, Wilfredo, that you knew Ricky Maru, the name. I thought for sure you would have been what is the guy's name in Tenchu?
Full disclosure, I spent a year in Japan. I'm very much aware of Ricky Maru.
Number 6. All right, so now, Jason, the pressure's on you. You got to get one on the list and see if you can get one higher than the 6th position.
I'm just struggling at all right now because that was my one pick. I was going to have that.
There's some obvious ones here. There's
obvious ones,
yeah.
But that was just what I was thinking. Just ninjas. So it's help me out, chat.
Oh, he's going to chat. He's phoning a friend. A friend.
Yeah, the Assassin's Creed stuff. Though,
Oh no, I guess
yeah,
you're
that's a cool
polling the
Assassin's
audience.
Creed
I think
one.
is what this it would be more
I'm
apt.
polling the audience.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
polling an
I
audience.
just don't know the Assassin's Creed. I mean, I know like one Assassin's Creed.
Oh,
from
Glory
another,
saying Ezio.
but yeah.
Oh, Glory. Is that? Do you want to take that guess, or you want to see if chat helps you out a little better here?
Yeah, give me someone better. I don't like Assassin's Creed.
All right, so we'll throw that guess aside. It does not count as Jason's guess. Ezio is number 1.
Of course he is.
What about
Assassin's Creed 2, Ezio.
What about
number 1.
no, I got it. What is the title? Is it? It's Assassins, right? Top 10.
Top 10 Assassins, yeah.
All right, this is kind of an. What about what's her name? The girl from Last of Us, Ellie.
Ooh.
She does get a lot of stealth kills,
Ooh.
as far as I know. So I'm gonna go with her.
Gonna go with Ellie.
Yeah.
Drum roll, not on the list. Ellie
Yeah, I
did
figured
not
as much.
make the
Whatever.
list.
I wanted to come up with my own original.
Ezio, number 1. Quiet from Metal Gear 5, number 2.
Of course.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Corvo from Dishonored also makes sense.
Okay.
Number 3. Windshark threw Corvo in before I said it, so credit to Windshark for getting that one right. Number 4, if I said Star Wars The Old Republic, who would you give me? Or if just Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, if you want to go that route too.
Oh.
HK-47?
HK-47, number 4. Yeah, absolutely. Thane from Mass Effect 2, number 5. Yeah, that one got a little for me. A little And if Agent 47 was on this list, I wouldn't have cared that Thane was on here. Ricky Maru, number 6. Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell, number 7.
Okay.
Cicero, number 8 from Elder Scrolls 5.
Who?
Cicero?
Cicero?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I never finished the Dark.
Yeah, from Skyrim.
Dark West. He's not really an assassin.
Yeah. Ada Wong from Resident Evil 2.
Okay.
Samus Aran from Metroid, number 10. Agent 47 doesn't make the list.
What?
Samus's resume may say bounty hunter, but let's face facts. Have you ever seen her take a target alive? If it looks like an assassin, acts like an assassin, and melts alien scum like an assassin, we're pretty sure we know what we've got here. She's one of the best at doing what she does, even if what she does isn't exactly clear. If it walks like an assassin, talks like an assassin, acts like an assassin, it's probably Agent 47.
Thank you.
It's probably Agent 47. Anyway, enjoy your free Hitman 3. Technically a launch, I guess. Later this
Ellie
year
would have been a better choice than that.
Right. Later this year, speaking of the Switch kind of getting shanked a little bit, Genshin Impact going to be releasing the native PlayStation 5 client sometime soon, hopefully. Before the end of the year, basically, is where they're targeting this one. But what we don't have is any news on the Switch version, Wilfredo. Still confirmed to be in development. I did confirm that with them. There's still plans, but no release date yet. But Genshin Impact in 4K is going to look really, really good, right?
Yeah, it's going to look fantastic. However, not on the Switch. I mean, the art design is very similar, so I would think that the architecture could kind of work. They should have been working on that a long time ago. I mean,
well, they are. They've always said that they're working on it, but I thought it was just funny seeing the PS5 native version pushed before the Switch. Like, you would think, hey, we got the PS4 client. It plays on the PS5. We'll work on a PS5 client, but we want to get into more of an audience. We got to get this on the Switch. Like, I would have thought that was the priority, not the 4K. I don't know.
Me too. You would figure that, seeing as though it's a much more mobile console, but no, really? Because PlayStation 4 had it?
Vastile's on fire in chat today. Saying, sweet, now I can watch my money disappear in 4K with no load screens.
Nice.
Mihoyo loves you. Mihoyo loves you. Yeah, Jason, I just thought it was a little surprising that we're going to go the PS5 route first. Switch has been on the docket since launch. Like, it hasn't been a secret. They've been public about making it. Obviously, you want to hit that Breath of the Wild audience, right? Let's hit those guys. But yeah, we're going to get the PlayStation 5 4K first.
Maybe it's just easier to do a port from a PS4 to a PS5 than it is to go to a Switch somehow. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see. Either of you been messing around in Hearthstone's new expansion, whether it be with the new Barons cards or playing Classic? I know some of us were excited to relive the Hearthstone Classic days in the, what is it, like 240 card set, something like that, with all the original flavors.
It's weird. It's like I actually went back into Hearthstone this week because I hadn't played in like 2 or 3 months. And of course, I write up all the news on the site and everything. And I got in there and I was like, you can do this and you can do that and you can do this over here. And I'm like, what's all this again? But despite writing all these articles, I'm like, wait, what's the core set again? Oh man, it's getting a little confusing to me. So, but I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm just still doing this. Well, I'm doing terribly in Arena. Trying, going back into Battleground or not? Yeah, Battleground. That's what it's called, and the duels as well. But yeah, there's a lot there now, and it's if you have to kind of be prepared to jump into it to learn what you're supposed to be doing.
Wilfredo, does Classic have any appeal for you, or are you like, when you play, is it you got to be with like the most recent sets, that type of player?
It left kind of a bitter taste after their last fiasco, so I'm just trying to wash that out at the moment.
Well, they did do some revamping of that season progression, which was the biggie thing. Basically, it still takes the same amount of experience to go from the bottom to the top, but they've added more levels in between. So you get that loot box endorphin rush. Not loot box. I mean, you know what you're getting, but you know what I mean. That little endorphin rush a little more often. I've talked to some people when we were doing shows on Ready Check Radio, and they've said that actually is helping. That does feel better to play with. You said you messed with it a little bit, Jason. Did it feel better than when you first jumped in when that whole Tavern Pass thing was launched?
Yeah, I'm already like level 30 or whatever for having played like 3 days. So, and I remember hearing Zista say he did like one Battlegrounds and he was like level 16 or something. So yeah, it's a little nicer. It does feel a little better.
Now we do have the new keyword in the Forged in the Baron set, Frenzy, which me, of all people, had to explain the difference between this and Enrage on Snowbound over on Ready Check Radio. So Frenzy keyword triggers some type of effect on a card anytime when that minion is damaged for the first time, and then they just get that effect. Enraged, they only get that effect while they're damaged. So if at any point they are healed, they no longer get that effect. Not the case with Frenzy. If you're playing in the Forged in the Baron set. All in all, it seems to be going well for Hearthstone. A little bit of a rebound. Still some, like you said, Wilfredo, bad tastes in the mouth. If they continue along this track, though, can they win you back?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was going to try it again in maybe another month or so long as nothing comes along and steals my attention.
You mean Outriders, right?
I mean, I'm not going to lie. It does look really good.
All right. What else do we got in our coming out and launching and leaving us segment? Oh yeah, here I'm sure a lot of you will mourn this. The free to play PUBG Lite, that version overseas, and that's closing down, and I'm sure you're shocked.
F in the chat, please, for PUBG Lite.
Yeah, F's in chat. For PUBG Lite shutting down. What I think is funny is that like they weren't even clear on why in their announcement. Like it would have been very easy to say, hey, you know what? It just didn't have the player base to support it. If you want to play PUBG, play PUBG. No, it's a difficult decision, and we're closing. Okay. So the game service actually ends on April 29th, so I guess you still have a few weeks if you want to play it. They do kind of blame COVID, though, Jason, your favorite excuse.
There's like 2 things now that I want to get. I don't like that, and I'm getting tired of seeing that's a difficult decision to shut down a game. That's the other word you always see.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, they did somewhat blame COVID, and I'm like, yeah, okay, but. You started this like mid 2019 or whatever, and it still wasn't good. So no, I'm not saying it's COVID. especially because, as we all know, COVID made people play games more. So,
Yeah.
honestly, if you had an existing service that was basically going and doing what it was doing prior to that, it's one thing if you were trying to develop a game, and then yeah, sure, there's always development going on for an online game. But if you had a reasonable product beforehand, then you probably should have still done okay this last year.
I think this is what it is, Wilfredo, right? It was originally launched as a lower spec version because PUBG could be a little demanding on certain systems and certain setups. So they wanted this to be a little bit of lower spec. Turns out that the audience that wants a battle royale that's lower spec is already playing Fortnite.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's the thing, and this is just my thought on that. The reason mind you, this was what, 2019, 2020 when they decided to go this route. Runes of Magic is still active.
Yeah.
Which means
Just had its birthday.
Low spec. It's sad. It was like March that it came out. March of 2009. It's not that people wanted low spec. They could obviously go play Fortnite, but it's because no one cared.
Yeah. Runes of Magic turned 12 just a day or two ago. 12.
Yeah.
Sad, isn't it?
Wow. And we do want to add one more thing here to the Leaving Us. Jason, we have often done financial information on the show. Some of it, although less over the last year or two when Jason and I started to really get suspect about some numbers here. They've always kind of been dubious, but the last 2 years or so, we've been looking at these reports going, I don't even know if we want to report on this. Nielsen closing down Super Data, so we will no longer have the Super Data reports, revenue reports coming out.
Yeah, it's interesting because Nielsen only bought up Super Data like a year and a half ago. So it makes me think that maybe they'll still come back in another form in some way.
We'll see.
I actually spoke on the phone with their CEO around when they were launching. So, he's a guy who's probably still going to want to do something. So
we shall see. Magic Legends getting some updates, getting some love from Perfect World and Cryptic Studios. So we posted the first look. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It kind of runs the gamut of the entire experience, the good, the bad, the ugly. But to be fair, this is pretty quick for some of these changes. Like the Magic devs have acknowledged things like the tutorial zone being too long, the assassin being behind the paywall. Obviously, that was a big one that needed to be addressed right away. Performance issues, pretty big one as well. They addressed the Aether exchange having what looked like inflated exchange rates, but they explained that, hey, that was basically because we seeded the first million in there. The market will normalize when you guys start putting your Aether and your Zen in there. I don't know. I haven't played it since the first look. It's still installed, but I had Outriders come out yesterday. I don't know when. I still do WoW rating and Final Fantasy 14 rating. I don't know when I'm going to get back to it. It's still installed. I think this is one that over time could become better, but right now I think the best way I described it in the first look was, Wilfredo, this is at the shallow end of the ARPG pool. It doesn't do anything risky. It doesn't do, go out of its boundaries at all. It's there. It's functional. There is fun to be had, but I don't know how long that fun is, and eventually it's going to have to build itself a deep end of the pool when you live in a world that includes Diablo 3 and Path of Exile, and by the way, sequels to both of those coming soon.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of gameplay on this, and my whole mindset going into watching all the gameplay is to see what this game brings. And after watching, one stream of that like an hour and a half, another one of only like 20 minutes, I've realized that this is basically the par for the course. Like this, it looks great to an extent. There's some resolution issues that I've noticed in some streams. It's standard. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just not mind blowing. The only cool thing I like about it is the deck building system.
Yeah, and ironically, I actually like that more than I thought I was going to. Like the whole idea of your abilities never really being in the same hotbar slot was like, why the hell would you do that? And I know there is a huge section of people that think that is the dumbest thing ever, and they are totally, that's valid for them. I thought it was going to be the dumbest thing ever too. I actually enjoy it a little more than I thought I did. Doesn't mean I'm totally sold on it, Jason, but it does mean that I enjoy it. I kind of like the way you came out of your preview event. That's not terrible. that's not terrible. There might be something there.
Yeah, I think everyone, and I've got that same opinion. I look at chat and they're saying, Vastil saying, I don't really know if I like it. Old Glory says, I stopped at level 13. I'll give them time to fix most issues. Hard to enjoy at the moment. And it's like, this is all what I think a lot of people are feeling. Like, it's kind of okay. It's got some good things, but I just want to see if it actually develops into something better.
Yeah, it's something I said in the first look. This is not ready for open beta.
No.
It's just not.
Open beta.
Yeah, and it's I addressed that right at the top of the first look. Definitely go watch the first look. Share with all your friends. Views, subscribe, like, all that. There's your plugs.
Be naked.
But yeah, it's not ready for open beta, which is kind of scary when you think about how this was originally slated to launch last year, Wilfredo. They thought they were ready for an open beta then. If you start building things in your realm too, that does start getting a little grindy, but that is the current end game, so I understand why the grind is there. I can't think of a better way to describe it than the way I did. It's the shallow end of the ARPG pool. Right now.
Yeah. It's that little caterpillar. It's going through its stages. That's fine. But it's very meh. And that's okay. But I'm just glad that they didn't decide to go, no, this game is ready for launch right now.
Well, they kind of did. The cash shop is fully operational.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole other thing. I mean, it's perfect world. Come on, man.
But you got to give credit where due, right? We've seen a lot of dev blog action, and the first patch as a result of that dev blog action has already gone live, moving the assassin from a cash shop item only to being part of the battle pass. Granted, you got to reach level 50. Jesus Christ. But it's for free players and premium players, so you don't even have to buy the battle pass to get it, so you can grab that extra class if you play enough to get to 50. They fixed the daily and weekly quests. Mine were all working except for one that we tried on stream over and over and over to get it to trigger, and it just would not. Jason, apparently you had issues with all of them.
I couldn't even see. I don't know what my daily and weekly quests are.
They're not actually prominently displayed. You have to go to
that's kind of stupid.
Yeah, you have to go to the battle pass
screen. Here's how you advance the battle pass, but we're not going to tell you.
Yeah,
how.
You have to go to the battle pass screen, and they show up in the lower left.
No, they don't. Not for me. They didn't.
Oh, they didn't? Because,
I was on the battle pass screen. And
it
says you have to do them, and that was all.
Oh, no. See, it would show, you can't get them on your UI or anything, but I could see them there. But there was one. We did 2 out of our 3 dailies. We did our weekly on stream last Friday, but we could not get that last daily. I had to kill 10 enemies within 2 seconds of each other 3 times. I was pulling enemies, not using minions in case that didn't count, and nuking whole blocks of 15 enemies and couldn't get it to trigger. So they fixed that and just dumped 7, full completed quests on everybody so that they can make that up as well. Yeah, credit where due, Jason. They seem to be pushing things in the direction that feedback is dictating, and not in a way that that was their plan all along, right?
Yeah, it's like on the one hand you want to congratulate them for getting to that sort of stuff quickly, but on the other hand you also go, couldn't you have seen this was going to be a problem?
Yeah.
Like they'd really take 3 days of beta, 3 days of people actually being in the game to actually know that it was an issue. So I don't know.
Vesteel talking about keyboard and mouse. This is one, Wilfredo, when you do get in, use a controller. And I say this in the first look. I do a comparison of the 2 UIs in the first look as well. Use a controller. One, it is infinitely more responsive. The keyboard and mouse combination is clunky. It's actually better on the controller, and that kind of makes sense because it was simultaneously developed for PC and consoles at the same time, so they catered to the lowest common denominator with the controller. It works better. Not only that, in the PC UI, and I've said this before, you can't see the names of the 4 cards in your hotbar, so you have to memorize the art if you want to know what the abilities are. To me, starting with Necromancer, it was just like, I don't know what that purple thing does. That purple, all of them are purple. That does something purple. I don't know. In the controller UI, you do get the card names displayed. I found that infinitely easier to memorize and work with. So when you do get there, use the controller. Vasteel in chat, absolutely use the controller. The camera motion still boggles my mind, Wilfredo. I don't know why I can pan a camera in an ARPG left and right, but not in the up and down axis at all. It seems like a little bit of lazy design so that they didn't have to worry about making the environments in a way that a stationary isometric camera might be blocked. They didn't have to worry about that. They just said, oh, you know, they can move the camera. But the amount of times I hit up and down on the right stick to get the camera to go up and down is staggering. Because since I can go side to side, my brain automatically thinks I can go up and down too.
Yeah, I don't think they really thought that one through either. It was one of those things. All right, let's put this in here too, so they have 360 degrees around their perimeter. It's like, but I want to look at us. I want to raise it up so I can see what's going on. No. You don't want that.
It's also.
I hope that they are taking notes.
Yeah, the camera's also a little weird in that it centers on your feet, not
Which
your
is
character's head. So that means if you are looking at your character's back and walking, let's say, just up on the screen, you actually see less area in front of your character than you see behind your character because it's centered on the character's feet, which is just a little weird. Just a little weird to me. I don't know.
I'm gonna write a strongly worded letter.
We are all spoiled by PoE and Diablo, and PoE 2 presumably early next year, Diablo 2 sometime next year. We know it's not coming this year, or Diablo 4, sorry. We know it's not coming this year. Then we got Diablo 2 remaster, so
big PoE reveal coming next week.
Yeah. They got their stream on what? The 8th. On the 8th.
Thursday, yep.
All right. 2 topics here before we slide over and do the weekly bombs. We've got this just can't be right? Let's talk a little bit about money in and money out. I mean, this can't be right. Jason, I'm just going to read the headline and oh my God, look at all these bullet points. I did read this article because it's player who spent $3.5 million on Lineage M gets angry over rollback and blocks the NC Soft company parking lot. I'm sorry. What?
Unfortunately, I think the stream just kind of puked as you were reading that.
Yeah.
Even the stream couldn't handle it. So let's see if we come back up, and I want you to read that again. I'm reloading the stream, which we're going to add right now.
It's buffering. Oh, yay, Twitch. Yay, Twitch.
Even the stream couldn't handle that headline.
Even the stream couldn't handle it.
All right, I think we're back.
The headline was player who spent $3.5 million on Lineage M gets angry over rollbacks, blocks the NC Soft parking lot. I'm sorry, what?
To be clear, that's $3.5 million, not the Korean won.
USD.
US dollars. Yeah. So this is a story that comes from Biz Korea, which is a Korean website. So I had to use like the Google Translate. So between that and a guy who posted on Reddit about it, I gleaned the following. So here I'll go through the bullet points briefly. And the Lineage M was a mobile game, very successful for NCSoft. They had an update in January. One user spent, according to that, $142,000 over 4 days during that event. So that's a lot.
Yeah.
So NCSoft, though, decided to roll back the update because they had some issues or whatever. And it says they compensated players for their purchases in diamonds, which is like their probably cash up currency or some sort of thing like Astral Diamonds or whatever. But according to Mr. A is the name they use for the player, this guy who spent a lot of money, he only got about half of what he purchased. So he was a customer service. He tries to email them or do whatever normal things, doesn't get the answers he wants. So he goes to the NCSoft office himself around the end of last month or end of February, said he spent 2 days waiting to meet the customer service manager, And when he couldn't get an appointment, he used his car to block the NCSoft parking lot. And I guess he was arrested for that. Apparently, I said he left, brought his car, he put it there, and then he left. So they've actually tracked him down and arrested him.
So he gave him $142,000 on that update and a car.
Basically, I'm sure it was impounded, cost him another whatever to. Because if he's spending that kind of money, it's probably a pretty nice car. He's probably got a nice car. So then another YouTuber picked up on this controversy, covered it in a video, which the other players said they also did not receive the proper compensation. So NCSoft went ahead and handed out what the proper compensation, enough diamonds or whatever. They said that it was not influenced by that guy's video. So
where do we get $3.5 million from?
So yeah, that was a part of it, and I think YouTube again, or Twitch again, does not like this. There we go. Okay, we're back now. Yeah, so apparently also in that article, Mr. A claimed that he has spent over 4 billion Korean won on the game in the last 2 years, and that is equivalent to about 3.54 million US dollars.
Or 1/900th of the company's total income for the past 2 years.
Yeah,
in just that one person.
Reports for NCSoft. Yeah, one person spent basically close to 0.1% of the entire company's revenue.
Why don't, for $3.5 million, Wilfredo, make your own Lineage M and give yourself every item you want in it, and you'll still have $2 million left over.
Here's because if that's what you paid a company and they don't make that much, buy the game yourself and just be like, all right, it's my game now. I want all the cool stuff.
Admittedly, Lineage M made a crap ton of money.
Yeah.
So, 3.5 million would not have accounted for it.
No, yeah.
It's just the fact that this person, first off, can I have a couple of bucks? I think we could all use a couple of bucks right about now. This is ridiculous.
I bet he could have bought City of Heroes with it, though.
Absolutely. He got blocked at the heartbeat.
City of Heroes and WildStar get a combo deal.
get the Wombo combo.
For 3.5 million, you can buy City of Heroes, and for an extra $10, we'll throw in WildStar.
Oh, womp womp.
Down.
Womp womp.
But yeah, I don't understand. I wish I had that kind of money. This makes 0 sense. But hey, if he loves the game that much, kudos to him. I just think he went a little too far.
Like, this can't be just somebody playing a game for $3.5 million, right? Like, even, let's say that amount of money means nothing to you, right? You're like Bobby Kotick's level of cash in the bank. $3.5 million, if your maid stole it, you wouldn't notice. If you are talking about that level of money, this can't be just they love that mobile game so much that they do. This has got to be like money laundering and shit, right? I mean, it has to be.
Seen some of the gacha? He's trying to get that super rare, whatever the F kind of thing. But yeah, I do kind of wonder, like, how, even in the most gacha-y, horrible, whatever kind of game, I don't know how you could spend 3.5 million. That does seem a little.
I'll tell you what. I bet MiHoYo sent this dude a gift basket. They were like,
some summer sausages and cheese.
I was about to say, I still got mine down here.
They were like, hey,
you want some sausage?
Let me tell you a little something about a little game called Genshin Impact. we hear you like games that you could play on your phone. No, you don't have to spend any money. You don't have to spend. Don't worry about it. It's free to play. Don't worry about it. Speaking of getting some money, Core, which we've talked about on this show before, did the first look. Jason played it on a stream as well. So have I. That is now available on the Epic Game Store. It's still considered an early access. This is that software that lets you build games and go play games and, very Roblox except for adults type thing. Rip Roblox trying to get an older audience. They just got a lot of money in some Series C financing. Manticore Games did about $100 million. Obviously, one of the investors being Epic Games itself. So yeah, you give me $100 million, I'll put my game on your platform. I don't care. CEO Frederick DeCamp says, we're thrilled to have more resources to invest in our creators, who we see as the engine of our growth to ultimately build the game's multiverse and the best playground for players. Our early access launch on Epic Game Store next month is just the beginning. That's a lot of funding. That's a lot of funding. I got a question, though, like, what is the money used for? Like, at this point, what more could they do with Core? Like, just give more creation options, I guess? More robust creation options? It's pretty robust to begin with, but...
Pizza parties.
Pizza parties. Just lots of pizza parties. That's a lot
Buying all the items in Lineage M.
That's a lot of scratch. That's a lot of scratch.
Yeah. That's crazy levels of money. Maybe they're looking to expand. Maybe they want to do more.
Yeah. So that's my thought though. Like, what do you expand into when you provide a platform that you can create basically any genre of game you want, and players can play any of these games? Where do you expand from there? Just more genre options, or Wilfredo's got an idea. I just saw the face light up like Christmas, man. What happened there?
I mean, we're talking Epic Game Store, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're talking about.
Well, I mean,
Core.
it's available by their website too, but yes.
Right. Why not have the same kind of tie-ins that they did with Fortnite? We can get John Wick in there, bring in Deadpool, get that guy from Fortnite, aka Master Chief, know your game characters.
Licensing.
Why not?
Huh?
Yeah,
Licensing.
why not?
Well, what was Roblox? That was one of Roblox's strategies. Remember, they wanted to
was.
have worlds for different brands.
They wanted Coca-Cola World or Pepsi World or whatever it was.
That said, Core is not quite big enough yet
No.
to attract Pepsi and Coke.
Yeah.
Not yet.
I got to assume a lot of that $100 million goes to marketing pretty soon. Not right now. It's because it's still building. I actually like the platform.
Hey, Core, we have ads on our site. You can buy those spots right there.
Hell, Epic Games, $100 million for MMO Bomb sold. It's not even mine to sell, but we'll work it out. We'll work it out.
We'll figure something out.
Trust me, we'll work it out.
We are the #1 channel on YouTube.
Yeah. Are we still? Yeah, the staff says we're still the #1 channel on YouTube. Nexon is also investing. They're investing in Hasbro, Bandai Namco, Konami, and Sega Sammy, and others that we don't have to disclose those yet because they don't meet our thresholds for disclosure. And while we don't typically talk a lot about these companies investing in each other unless it's Tencent. This one kind of struck me as kind of unique. This was like Nexon, the free-to-play, getting into all these other not free-to-play space investments. Bandai Namco, Konami, Sega Sammy, and Hasbro. Please don't confuse Sega Sammy with Sega. That's we're talking about the holdings corporations themselves. So, yeah, big investments. $1.5 billion to spend on IPs that represented a new class of winners. I don't know. Maybe 2 of those?
When I wrote about this before, I was like, okay, maybe they're going to invest in some small. Well, I sort of made the comment that being that was like mid 2020, you invest in companies that are maybe feeling a bit of a pinch because of COVID and everything going on there. So you get them where they're a little lower, and you buy low, sell high, or whatever. But I don't know. I would expect maybe even some smaller companies, which maybe are there. Those are the ones that don't meet the disclosures. Stuff you can get in on early and hopefully get them as well. And
yeah, you don't normally invest at $30 a share to cash out at $32 a share type deal.
Yeah.
No. Excuse me. Old Glory mentioning this. Yeah, wait. Wasn't Nexon for sale? Yeah, at one point it was.
And it was amazingly, it was a full 2 years ago. Like I had to look that up. I thought it was like last year, but no, it was actually 2 years.
Yeah, it just feels like 5 years.
Yeah. No, I thought it was actually last year that they were for sale. So
let's slide over and do the weekly bombs. Wilfredo, my friend, you're up, sir. What do you got?
I'm going to give it a bomb because it is currently free to play on PSN. To Remnant from the Ashes. It's a very difficult game to play because the UI is pretty sparse, but I've been having a great time. So yeah, kudos.
I got that, I think, as a free PSN game 1 month. And
Yeah.
speaking of Perfect World, that is Perfect World Entertainment that does that one too.
And I haven't spent a dime.
Yeah, I've found it rather enjoyable too. It can be challenging, and the multiplayer is fun. But Outriders, I don't know. It's gonna suck up my attention for a little bit. Otherwise, I'd say, hey, let's play, because I haven't played it in a while.
If they could just merge Outriders and Rocket League, you'd have no free time.
You'd never see my white ass again. Jason, what do you got?
We're not doing the naked podcast for all. I don't want to see your white ass yet. I'm gonna give a dub bomb to my nephew. Not the one who did the little thing with the ping pong ball from earlier, but another one who bought me Out of the Park 22, just randomly out of nowhere. Just
on release day too.
On release, maybe like a day later. I don't remember.
No, it was on release day.
Okay.
Yeah, because we talked about it a Saturday on Gaming Gumbo. It had released Friday the night before, and your nephew had gotten it for you.
All right. So yeah, kudos to him.
Now your favorite nephew.
Now my favorite nephew. Yep. Yeah, the other three got to step up their game.
Step it up. Well, when
I can be bribed, very easily be bribed.
When's the hockey one come out? That's next nephew in line. When's the hockey one come out? Buy this for Uncle Jason.
Very good.
I'm gonna give an A-bomb to just some terrible timing. So the Dota community we talked about this, a tutorial for Dota, game that all these years later still really doesn't have one. There were some caveats. They did an Indiegogo, fully funded. It's kind of a one-time deal. Sink it all in there. You do have to play like 30 matches to open up the custom modes to be able to play it, but nice way for newer players, let's say, to really learn the game. And then Valve dropped their entire new player experience just as the new anime drops, which I've heard is getting stellar reviews even by people who aren't fans of the game. On the plus side here, though, I think they both can exist, right? The community made one, does that whole like new player experience. Valve, the thing Valve made can't really do what this is doing. So, yeah, I mean, fully funded on Indiegogo, so da-bomb for that part, but A-bomb for just terrible timing. That kind of sucked for the community team to have that new player experience launch so close to the Indiegogo launch. From chat, dub-bomb to Vastille for the jokes today. This is coming from Nisagra. I'll even highlight the message this time.
Oh, we're going to spend all those points, huh? So we can afford that, man?
Ninja Panda is giving an A-bomb for Agent 47 not being on Game Informer's top 10 assassins list. That is well earned. Well earned. From viewers, Gessley, A-bomb to COG Games, K-O-G Games, for lying and taking down Hero Wars. I stumbled on an old review, remembered that game, and I really liked it. Game was fun, it ran really well. Excuse me. Was quirky with its classes, and one of the few games which I had multiple max level characters, which is really rare. And even then, I do not feel that the monetization was forced, which is even rarer. Yeah. It didn't make money because the monetization wasn't forced. Jason.
Okay. You know, one of my other things that I really that ticked me off. When someone says, I can't believe this game shut down. That's so terrible. And then I haven't played it in years, but I'm really mad that it shut down.
Right, but if I want to get you off topic, all I got to do is let you know that yesterday, Defiance tweeted a Trove advertisement again.
Jeez.
Oh, Bastille, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I'll give you the disco lights and the cheering after the cast. Go ahead, Jason.
SAB or Riot says dub bomb to Super Adventure Box opening on April 6th. The best festival in any MMO period. If you disagree, I wish the many deaths of Tribulation mode upon you. Oh, I've had many deaths in Tribulation mode. I don't need any more.
So yeah, from what I understand though, nothing new this year. It is just it's just the same old, which it is one. I got to say, it is one of the best events in an MMO. I do love the event.
It was one of the best back in 2013. That was the last time, or 2014. That was the last time they did something new with it. So
I think it's still good. Although the Nightmare Tower is still my all-time favorite MMO event ever. The running up the tower in Guild Wars 2 for what is it? The Halloween event, I think.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah.
I love that.
Someday.
I love that. Wilfredo, go ahead.
Guardian Vale, to bomb to Jason's commentary during his Conqueror's Blade stream. Shooty, shooty, boom, boom. Stabby, stabby, stabby. Don't believe I made some clips as evidence.
Oh, yeah.
Oxen Barnstoker III. Still love that name. Astral Diamonds. Ugh, that makes me nauseous talking about my comparison to Magic Legends Aether. and Zen Exchange being the same thing as the Astral Diamonds Exchange and Neverwinter. Sorry, but Cryptic just screams mediocrity to me and annoying cash shop. No matter how fun a game is, Cryptic will ruin it. Oof. Harsh words. Harsh words. Go ahead, Jason.
He's not wrong.
Box, which sounds like it could be like a pseudonym for Oxen Barn Stoker, because you got the B and the OX.
Oh.
But Box says, giving an A-bomb to myself this week, because while playing VR earlier in the week, I managed to not only break my ceiling fan, but also put a mighty nice dent in my ceiling playing Phasmophobia. Lesson learned, next time I'll just stick to playing scary games in non-VR mode unless I break something else.
How tall are you?
I mean, it could be have a low ceiling.
I mean, I guess.
Although
I haven't broken anything in VR yet, but I've almost sprained my ankle, right? Like falling and shit like that. Haven't broken anything yet, knock on wood. Go ahead, Wilfredo.
Marco Z. Troy hated Bless Online like a plague, while he enjoys playing one of the worst ARPGs I've seen in my life. And yes, I have played almost all of the ARPGs out there.
Troy really does like Magic Legends so far. He's really enjoying it. Like, Jason and I are like, this is a fun in small doses thing. Troy is like, this is my game for a little while. We'll see if that stays. Question of the week last week. Now that you had time to play it or watch others play it a bit, what are your initial impressions of Magic Legends? Guessly chiming in, saying, my initial impressions are not that great. Can't comment about the card skill system yet. I'll start with the things I like about the game. Game looks good. Skills are pretty and feels impactful. Combat in general is not bad. That's it, I think. Now, about the things I did not like or had problems with. I had audio problems from the very start. Could not find a good balance for sound effects / voice. Tried to fix with options, but at one point, options for sound started simply not working. Had to restart the game. Cutscenes look awkward. The animations look weird. Dialogue on screen just live their separate life from the game. I'm one of those people who have latency. I pointed that out in the first look, too. Yeah. At one point, I put text. I was like, what the fuck is she even saying? Just looking at your streams, I can tell that your damage numbers pop up faster than mine. It feels like I'm playing with a delay. Really doesn't help with aiming, which you have to get used to. Options are lacking. Guess what? Options, exclamation point. Only 4 presets. Anti-aliasing is not good enough. Reminds me of alpha clients for other games. Found a map location where you can get stuck on a flat surface. Thought my internet died and I was waiting to disconnect. Had to restart the client. After game restart, still stuck. Teleported to the waypoint, ran back, got stuck again. Transmog at NPC only is stupid. Don't like monetization in game. Shakes finger. Bad game, bad. So yeah, not the best start for me. It feels like a closed beta at best. And you know, with that last sentence, I would absolutely agree. Go ahead, Jason.
Vale says, Magic Legends was fun, but it got boring quick, and I like ARPGs and loot grindy games. It needs better optimization and more cards. That is the whole spiel of the game.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
It did increase spell drop rate, so you kind of get more cards. But
yeah, and they're going to shorten that tutorial even more. Go ahead, Wilfredo.
Yakikami. I'm interested in Magic Legends, but the lack of quality in the technical side makes me not want to play this game right for now. If the beta ends and I hear good things from it, like the problems are all fixed, then I'll give it a try. Until then, I'd rather stay away and instead play games that are complete.
Yeah, the beta's not going to end.
Yeah.
It's not going to end. It's going to be one of those things.
With 12 years.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those like stupid long running betas that all of a sudden we get an email saying, "Hey, we're officially moving to launch," and we're like, "This isn't up yet." Oh, glory, that Guessly sounds like a great guy. You got like a dual personalities thing going on today, my friend. Box question of the week, giving a grand applause to Perfect World and Cryptic for somehow screwing up the launch of Magic Legends harder than even I expected. It seems like with every new launch Cryptic pulls off, each one is way worse than the last. I got a good laugh trying to drudge along for every few moments of hard lag and just how blatantly pay to win the cash shop is. I feel bad for laughing, but a friend of mine blew tons of money for about 100 of the booster packs trying to get the assassin class to no avail. Boy, that kind of sucks now that it's in the battle pass, huh? I haven't gotten such
spent
enjoyment.
3.5 million.
Yeah. I haven't gotten such enjoyment out of a dumpster fire of this magnitude since the short time I spent with Torchlight 3 in its alpha days. Do I have hope Cryptic can turn the game around and fix the issues? Possibly, yeah. Will it be any less pay to win? I think you can get that answered by looking at any of the other games they've made in the past. See, the thing with me and Cryptic and Perfect World is like, they're not by my personal definition strictly pay to win. They just aren't. They are aggressively monetized though. And to me there's a difference there. Like, you are actively pushed to the Perfect World cash shops. I wouldn't call the game like pay to win.
They feel like that guy in the alley, like, hey, you want a cash shop?
Yeah.
Cash shop thing? Right here.
I got a cash shop here. I got a cash shop.
First one's free.
I don't hate Perfect World. I would date Perfect World. I wouldn't marry Perfect World, right?
I don't think I'd maybe go to a movie with Perfect
Yeah,
World,
maybe dates. Maybe dates a little strong too. Maybe dates a little strong too.
Group date.
Yeah, we'll double date. We'll keep it safe, right? We'll keep it safe.
Yeah.
Don't try and kiss me. No. Look, Jason's here. That'll just be awkward. No. That's why
I only get to kiss you.
We came on this double date. I don't want to do this. A singular date. Yeah, I'd probably date Perfect World once and then not call. Like, man,
to get ghosted.
I'd text them back if they texted me. I wouldn't totally disappear. Be like, what are you doing? Oh, I got a free-to-play cast to do. So sorry. I thought you guys did that on Friday. No, Jason was sick Friday, so we're doing it Tuesday at 11:30 at night.
We're recording it ahead of time.
Question of the week this week. We talked about Hitman before, and we talked about my love for the Hitman movie, so I want to know, and we'll answer this question next week with our hosts, too. Speaking of Hitman, what is your favorite video game movie adaptation? And it doesn't have to be free to play for this one, obviously. But what is your favorite video game movie adaptation and why? Let us know in the comments below. While you're there, make sure you give us your weekly bombs. Dub bomb for something good, A bomb for something bad in the world of free-to-play gaming or just life in general. And if you have a question for the panel, throw it on down there. We'll bring it to the host next week and maybe it'd answer right on the show. Until then, Wilfredo, where can everybody find you?
You can find me at Twitter at DamianXMarius and twitch.tv/DamianXMarius. I'm going back to streaming this week, I promise.
Sounds good. Mr. Winter?
Find me on Twitter at Winter Informal and streaming at twitch.tv/JasonWinter.
I'm Mike Byrne. You can follow me personally right there at magicman1, but more importantly, follow at MMOBomb so we can tweet at you with all the latest news, articles, giveaways, and so much more. Until next time, gang, stay safe, and we'll see you on the servers. Later.